Hey guys, Jason again. Finally here back with another episode of Every Corner. Sharing safe travels by indie and pop rock band Jukebox The Ghost. This album was released on June 12th of 2012. It is their third studio album. Alright, so Jukebox The Ghost is a Washington, D.C. born, Brooklyn, New York City based three-piece rock band consisting of Ben Thornwell on vocals and piano, Tommy Siegel on vocal and guitar and Jesse Kristen on drums. All right, Ben, Tommy, and Jesse met and formed a band called the Sunday Mail in 2003 while attending George Washington University. Shortly after their formation, the band took a 2-year hiatus and became Jukebox Ghost. During this time, they recorded and then released their first studio album, Let Live and Let Ghost, which has brought about a lot of positive praise, most notably by publications such as Spin Magazine and the Washington Post. Alright, in 2010, in support of their second album, Everything Under the Sun, the band appeared on The Late Show with David Letterman, played with the band Free Energy at Lollapalooza in Chicago, and then opened up for the Bare Naked Ladies on their fall U.S. tour from October to November 2010. So they've been busy ever since then, ever since 2010. Have not been off the road. There's a song dedicated to that on this album. I will get to it later on. Really, throughout the history, Jukebox Ghost has found a nice niche recently as a keyboard pop rock band that writes very catchy, very quirky songs that have a very upbeat sound, similar to a band like Coldplay or Muse, but without the atmospheric sound and mainstream appeal. Really, the quirky writing style can be rooted back to the band's retro to modern influences. I think there's a lot of some Beatles inspired tracks on here, some Elton John inspired, some Billy Joel. They might be Giants as well, who they're inspired by, and Ben Folds, Queen, and Captain Beefheart. Alright, this album was released via Yep Rock Records, a small but very good record label that features alternative rock band Fountains of Wayne. Who those familiar know that their hit songs, or a couple hit songs, are Mexican Wine and Stacy's Mom. Really, the album artwork on the song really sparked my original attention as well. It was about a year and a half ago. Excuse me. It has a really cool looking abstract splattered paint inspired album cover that in a way reminds me of the band's relaxed, refreshing, and lighthearted sound and style that they like to perform in. And really, one thing to know about the band before listening to them is that they don't use a traditional lead singer or a bassist. Rather, every member shares the writing and instrumental playing and vocal duties, equally, and in the song rhythms are kept by the piano and drum beats on every single song. Alright, a track by track review here. First track here is Somebody. This song is the first single that the band has released off this album. The first song I believe I've ever heard from this band. This song starts off with a very interesting, slower paced intro that explodes into a huge chorus. It is the use of repetition with the whoa-hoes and the cheerful instrumental beat lead perfectly into the infectious chorus of "I want it, I need it, I want somebody," and trust me, they sound better than I do at that part. But if you listen to the song once, this will be in your head for days and days. Really, to me, the most surprising thing about this song, however, is it's very simple, it's very happy sounding, but when you look at it, it has a very depressing meaning about maybe wanting to get out of a painful and a bad relationship there. I really do like this song. Definitely check that one out. That's the first song, as I said, I've ever heard. Alright, the second song here is maybe the second song I've ever heard is Oh Emily, the second single off the album. It features guitarist Tommy Siegel on vocals, and to me, while it's obvious that his vocals are weaker, I believe this benefits the band in a way because his vocally his nasally rather vocal style paired with Jesse Kristen's drum beat seem to fit the style the band is going for, an upbeat style yet sad theme, rather maybe than Ben's classically trained stronger vocals that he has there. Another thing that caught my attention here as Tommy's guitar playing seems a lot heavier in this song, especially when you compare it to the crashing piano chords and the catchy chorus when you get down to it. Definitely check those two songs out. These two songs, Somebody and Oh Emily not only create a powerful 1-2 punch on the album, but really are some of the best songs that I think Jukebox The Ghost has ever written to this point here. Alright, third song here is At Last. The song starts with a very simple piano chord and vocal pairing there. Reminds me a little bit of Elton John at a point. The song then builds up to become a sort of a layered mashup of strings, percussion, and that's capped off with some nice sounding guitar solos and vocals. They remind me of Queen's Freddie Mercury there. That's a Ben Thornwell song. Really like this song. All right, fourth song here is Say When. Um, it's a very upbeat song. It starts off with a very rock inspired slide guitar riff similar to maybe a Motley Crue in 1980s hair band that moves into a drum led and dual vocal pairing. That sounds maybe more not dual pairing, but a backing vocal between the two artists there. That kind of give the song a mellow pop rock vibe. The song that builds in a very fast paced, catchy chorus with some nice spacey effects that 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 finish off with a very strong, extremely strong instrumentals. Rather, including a very crashing drum build up that at one point actually reminds me of Blink 182, or it's very punk inspired. Rather, I would say. All right, the fifth song here is "Don't Let Me Fall Behind." This song takes a listen on a virtual roller coaster with the tempo. It starts out very huge and very big as it heads towards the chorus and crashes during the chorus and kind of levels out here. The overall tempo, and as well as the classically sounding vocals by singer Ben Thornwell, kind of hinted a Beatles influence there with some Paul McCartney influence especially. That's for my friend Bobby Myers, Archangel's HP. He should check out that song. All right, the sixth song here is "Dead." This song seems to show the band's diverse and creative song. It starts out with a very spooky, dark vibe, something we have not seen the band do at this point. I don't think on any of their albums. That when paired with Tommy's boyish vocals as Tommy Siegel, seem to get increasingly more depressed as the song continues, as it reaches heavy drum laced climax, and yeah, that's basically it. It's an interesting song there. All right, seventh song here is "Adulthood." The song brings back the catchy, upbeat vibes to this album. It starts out with a drum led beat that really stands out to me and sets the tone for the album, or the song rather, especially when paired with Ben's classical vocal style. If you really look past the upbeat melody to the lyrics, you will see that they are rather dark and depressing, as we've seen on a couple songs on this album, and the song is no exception, rather. Alright, the eighth song here is "Ghosts in Empty Houses." This song was originally written in 2008 by Tommy Siegel. I thought it would end up on maybe one of their past two albums here, but it ended up on this album. And really looking back at the catalog, I can understand why, as this song, like many others on here, has a more upbeat, creative feel, as that really their other albums only have in small doses. This is, I would say, the most creative album to date. The song starts out with a very big pop rock instrumental opening that give off a genuinely happy feel as the band examines the topic of maybe just looking at the people in your life. Say you have someone who, I don't know, I mean, maybe wanting to turn your life around before, maybe your friends backstab you, as that happens with some people. All right, these next two songs that I'm going to introduce seem to go as a pair. They both are very ballady, have a very ballady song structure. Really, the vocals on these two songs, as well as a lot of these rest of this album, remind me of Queen and Freddie Mercury. Very inspired there. All right, so let's get started here. The ninth song here is "Devil's on Our Side." This song starts out with a very long, catchy piano chord that seems to fit the vocals of Ben Thornwell perfectly, especially at the beginning. One thing that really caught my attention was the tempo change. About halfway through the song, a violin seems to join the mix here with the pianos and Ben's vocals, and when paired with that, seems to capture the emotional pain of the song, as it seems to deal with maybe a death or a relationship ending. Alright, the 10th song here, "All for Love," is my favorite of the two songs that are paired together, Devils on Our Side, and All for Love. The song starts with a very simple piano vocal pairing that seems to travel and climax with the song with a layered mashup of guitar leads, drums, and different sounding Christmas bells that really it's something that the band has not done to this point in their catalog, and what you would never really expect from the band. I really like the song. This is in my top 2 or 3 on the album. Or the 11th song here is "Man on the Moon." I really did like this song. It is a short interlude type of acoustic ballad. It's beautiful. That tells, since the band tours a lot, and it tells about how homesick Tommy Siegel is. There's really no instrumentals to speak of on this song except for a soft piano backing, which really I think simplifies the song and does a good job of getting the point across. All right, third song, I think, and the 12th song here is "Everybody Knows." This song really opens on a powerful note as the drums and the vocals, which are very heavy. I didn't really expect that. Seemed to really crash on the listener. It was a touch that I really like. You don't expect them to just kind of, you expect them to just be there, but they kind of start off extremely slow and then go boom in your face, and then, yeah, that's basically it. Really, as the song progresses, um, it seems obvious that it's very Queen inspired. This is where it kind of gets down to it. Queen, Billy Joel inspired with the string section, especially with a very nice guitar solo to finish off the song, which is something again that we haven't heard off this album yet. Okay, the 13th song here is the spiritual. This song this may be my, I don't know, I've had so many favorites, it's hard to categorize and rank these songs here. This song close out the album on a strong R&B and soul inspired note. It starts out with a slow, layered intro that maybe includes some Billy Joel inspired backing vocals with a choir, with some catchy hand claps that I've seen on a lot of albums I reviewed lately with some Angel Hayes and stuff like that. The song continues on a very depressed monotone vibe that maybe sees the band looking at their past mistakes. This kind of reminds me of the song "When the Fog Rolls In" by Train, or once again, Freddie Mercury inspired song there. All right, that's it for my review. Basically, my favorite tracks here is "Somebody," "Oh Emily," "At Last," "Say When," "Adulthood," "Ghosts in Empty Houses," "All for Love," "Man in the Moon," and "Everybody Knows." All right, my overall thoughts on this album: we see the band maturing as both songwriters and musicians. Songwriters, they write about more serious issues such as maybe death, growing up, breakups. That can be seen on songs like "Adulthood," "Death," "Oh Emily," and "Somebody." It seems that the band uses a wide variety of instrumentals as well, such as maybe some accordion, some bass guitar, some congas, and a nice string section to act as a mask to allow the band to write deeper and darker, depressing songs that come off still with a happy and upbeat vibe. And as I see the band progressing as musicians, as they try to experiment with their sound as a record, every song seems to be peppered with a new and different element, whether it be on a song's opening, a build up, the instrumentals that are used in the track, the way that the vocals are performed, much of the way sounding like Freddie Mercury or Queen with a lot of the Ben Thornwell vocals, or the changing of the overall style from going from heavy to soft with the drums on "Say When," or the ballady acoustic on the tracks like "Devils on Our Side" or "All for Love," "Man on the Moon." You gotta really respect how the band, how they're confident in their abilities, willing to take risk. Unlike a lot of bands that are today that we see. All right. Another thing that caught my attention that I really didn't really speak about was the production. The production of this album really caught my attention. Is absolutely stunning, especially when it comes to the instrumentals. You can hear every instrumental. It is very polished, and I believe that polish has really allowed the band to expand on both their sound and try different things, as I had just said, and both appeal to a larger audience. As a lot of people are looking for new music, they're kind of sick of the radio music that is played nowadays. And I believe that this album has a lot of music for everyone, and you know, and whether it be gospel, whether it be indie rock inspired, whether it be rock inspired. If you're a fan of Queen, if you're a fan of new music, if you're of if you like Ben Thornwill's vocals when you listen to this album, you will really appreciate this band and become a fan for life. All right, well, overall, and I wasn't really going to mention this, but a lot of this album really reminds me of Foxygen's "We Are the 21st Century Ambassadors of Peace and Magic," only because Foxygen. If you watch my review, I say they are inspired. They're inspired a lot by retro artists, and this has that feel to it as well. And the overall taking risk and just not afraid to take risk, and that also plays into my decision of what to compare it to. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this review. I know it was kind of choppy at points. I am sorry for that. My upcoming reviews here include some AC/DC, some Avenged Sevenfold, maybe some Queen of the Stone Age, some Blue October with their new album Sway, some Dr. Dog, some Welco. Maybe I'll do some Luke Bryan next. We got some Tan Vampires, the 1979 with their debut album, some Tom Odell, some Imagine Dragons, some Hailstorm, some Alter Bridge with their new album that comes out in about a week here. Some Jet Gladstone. I will get to that album eventually here. We have some Eric Church, some Tom Petty, some Sound City soundtrack. I want to do it. My friend RKM loves HP. I've got some maybe we'll see what we have here. We got some Guns N' Roses here. We got some James McCartney. That's what I meant to say here. Some Jimmy Eat World. Some Theory of a Dead Man. Some Moon Taxes. Some Group Love with their new album. Sleeping with Silence, and some Blink 182, some Blake Shelton, some Black Veil Brides, who I want to do. That's probably what I'll do next. I want to get a little bit more influx here, and some Darius Rucker. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this review. As I said, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Definitely check out Jukebox The Ghost. Safe travels. Highly recommended. I would give it a 10 out of 10. Again, thank you guys for watching this episode of Album Corner. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day. Bye bye.